Chesnay Keppler, a crime prevention warden officer from Eldorado Park in the south of Johannesburg, is being laid to rest this morning. The 22-year-old's life was cut short by her lover, who's also a police officer, after he allegedly shot her on the 26th of December 2024. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is standing by and is at the funeral service and joins us now. Nqobile, the family indeed had itself been very vocal about wanting justice for Chesnay.
Well, definitely very vocal about the importance of justice, especially because of what has occurred here in Eldorado Park. I mean, we've even heard as part of the sermon or the preaching that is taking place, they've spoken about the incidents that have taken place and why it's important for everyone to look in at this point and ensure that the police are held accountable so that they're able to stop what is taking place in the community. But I want to stand this side so I can show you what's taking place. As you can see right in front of us, some of the colleagues of Chesnay Keppler just standing there on the side, paying their respect to her. But we also know that the Premier of Gauteng has already arrived. He's also paying his respect inside. What you see now is crime wardens, but also the MMC of Finance, who also has shown a lot of respect for the family who has continued to come in this area. We've seen communities, members of the community gathering here. Many of them have been able to go inside and see her and sort of pay their respect. And there's just been a lot of sorrow, but a sense of solidarity. In fact, when they started preaching, they did ask that people either decide today to cry because of what has taken place or decide today to celebrate her for the person that she has been. And we know that she has been already described as a person that has been very good at her work, someone who has been determined, but also someone whose life was just taking off, whose life was actually taking the type of strides that they have always been hoping for. That her life was actually she had just bought a new car and that she had a career that was basically picking up, and they've described her as so many things at this very point. And Arabile, I just want to steal a moment. And I know that the MMC of Finance is actually very busy. MMC, I know that you are busy, but it's such a painful day today for this community. What would you say about what's taking place here?
Well, we've come to the last mile. We've come today. We are going to bury Chesnay today, and as you can see, the entire Eldorado Park has come out here. Although we have other funerals elsewhere, but we are about to depart, and we also want to say thank you for the communities and pastors that stood with us. But I think today is a day and an example, if you listen to the preaching, that we need to stand together as Eldorado Park and be united as Eldorado Park so that we are able to deal with the issues. But it is a sad day for all of us. We might be running around, but inside we are hurting.
Look, it was evidently so. We saw so many people crying just to show and reflect that pain. But I know that there was a memorial on the 3rd, and there was a strong outlook in terms of ensuring that the perpetrator does not get bail. Take me through that.
Well, all of us feels that way, and I think you've listened to the acting Premier Maile that has said that we need to take action. Time for talking is over. It's now time for action. And this is one death he's not going to escape. You know that we also have the Premier here today. The Premier has put his entire day aside to be with us. So tomorrow we're going to court, and we are going to go to court in our numbers. MMC of Finance, who was the acting Premier, will also be joining us. So it's going to be massive tomorrow. It's going to be massive, and we are asking men to be present there. But Mandla is not getting bail. We are saying no bail. He must rot where he is.
And I want to speak about the Premier coming here. Obviously, this means a lot for this community because you have seen so many issues in this community. But Crime Prevention Warden is also a project that was made by the Premier. What does this mean for him to be here?
Well, I think the Premier is saddened. the Premier, and as we know in his message that he sent with the acting Premier at the memorial, that he's saddened by this, and to think that it's someone that was supposed to protect her and guide her so that she's able to do a job, the very same person is the perpetrator. And I think this just so shows that action will come. And our plea to the Premier is that, and to everybody else in government, it shouldn't only be words, but it should be action. And we are asking for action, and we want to deal with it in a way that any other perpetrator will understand that victims and survivors are not silent any longer.
Thank you very much, MMC. I can't take too much of your time. Well, that's the MMC of Finance within the city of Johannesburg, and she's also been very vocal, especially because she herself, Nqobile, has experienced the kind of abuse, and she has said that she is one of the people that have spoken out against abuse, and so this is the moment for them to be able to speak against abuse. And of course, you will remember that the crime prevention wardens are also nicknamed Amapanyaza, which basically speaks to the Premier of Gauteng, who has made sure that this has become a project of Gauteng, that the crime prevention wardens are people that can go on the ground and actually prevent crime. And as the MMC is speaking, then it is so sad that you see a person that is supposed to protect the community die in this kind of fashion, and that the person that is responsible could be in the same law enforcement. So that's just very difficult for the family, but we've seen a lot of sorrow, Nqobile, and as you can hear behind me, they are now about to move, and they are going to go to church, and we know that then the service will start. We are of course expecting that there's going to be numerous people that are going to be speaking, but interestingly we also understand that one of the people that are going to be there are also MMC Kunene, who's also going to be speaking in the time when the funeral does start. But a very sad day indeed for Eldorado Park, especially in the fight against gender-based violence.
Yeah, Nqobile, we can just hear, just in the background, of course, that heartfelt messages, song, and just a sense of wanting to give praise as well in a time like this. Thank you so much for that story, as well as that interview, of course, as well, which kind of sends that stern message of what is desired then as an outcome for the hearing then, which does kick off this week.